In this tutorial, we're going to show you how to navigate through the browser inside the PractiCAD library icon. The PractiCAD library icon is where we centralize the creation of virtually all data in PractiCAD. You can build anything from a catalog for VAVs to creating custom tags and automatics directly through the library icon. Once we're inside the library icon, we can first choose to minimize or maximize our screen. Here we're going to maximize it so it takes up the entire screen. Basically, this section is divided into two. We have the browser on the left, which you can see there's a gray button called Browse, which we can close or open simply by clicking on it. Now it's closed, now it's open. And then, depending on what we select in our browser, PractiCAD will open up all the options on the right. For example, here you can see we have the word ductwork highlighted, so we have ductwork options showing. If we click on the word architecturals, PractiCAD will show the architectural items. Most categories do have options, but not all of them. You will also notice there's a little plus key next to each category. And if you click on the plus key, PractiCAD will open up all the choices underneath. For example, under ductwork, we get a list of the catalogs inside PractiCAD. If we go under architecturals, we get a list of all the different architectural entities. And of course, anytime you see a plus key, if you click on it, it means there'll be more choices underneath. And there you can do anything from create a fitting, delete a fitting, or anything that PractiCAD offers in the library icon. Now the last thing to point out is on the left-hand side, you're going to see a list of tools that are lined up with your browser. Now these tools will only light up when they can possibly be applied. If they cannot be used, they will be grayed out as you see here. So what we're going to do for the rest of this tutorial is go over the different icons and options, show you when they can be used and how to use them. The first two items we're going to cover is the create a new item and the delete key. These two icons, just like all icons in the browser, are only going to appear when they can possibly be applied to what you're highlighting in your browser. For example, under documentation, we're not capable of creating anything. However, if we open up to the subfolders of documentation, here you can see we've got tags, reports, spools, and the other options. Under tags, we have the different categories of tag types: general, input, elevation, property, custom. Now, if we click on an individual type, in this particular case, it's going to display on the right-hand side all of the options underneath. In other words, there are 4 different options. Each individual tag that was created on its own, and here you can see a catalog of tags is created. And what you're capable of doing is one of two things. Either A, you can simply open up the plus key, and then it's going to open up the choices that you see here on the right. Or what you could have done was click on the category, then double click on a specific tag like steel elevation, and when you do that, PractiCAD will open up the browser on the left and it'll already have whatever you clicked highlighted. Now we have the option to create something new. You'll notice that when you click on the word custom, because it is the place where we can design something new, PractiCAD will make the green create a new item check available for us. Now we have two choices here. Either A, we can create a new custom tag without any parameters. It'll be a blank custom tag to start. Or we can copy an existing one. First, we're going to show you how to create a blank one. Simply click on the category or type of tag you'd like to create, and then we're going to click on the green check. When we do that, PractiCAD's going to open up a window. And what they're asking us to do here is to select a BMP image that we're going to use to recognize this particular tag either in the browser or in one of our bins. Now the file path for where we store BMP images in PractiCAD is now displayed here. Currently you can see the BMP file path for the PractiCAD default tags. It is under Computer, C Drive, Program Files, Contractors Tools, PractiCAD. It'll say the version of AutoCAD 18.1 being AutoCAD 2011. It'll say the version of PractiCAD, version number being last 3 digits, 239. And then you'll have the graphic folder. Now most of these folders only have one option, so it is easy to navigate through. Under the graphic folder, you'll have tags, properties, automatics, different subfolders of different BMP images. So once you go there, you can select the BMP image you want. Once you've gone to the proper subfolder and selected the BMP image you want, as we're going to do here, all you need to do is click the Open button. And then PractiCAD will create a new item, whatever it happens to be. In this particular tutorial, we're utilizing a custom tag to demonstrate. But it'll create a new item, and then it'll ask you to name it. We're going to name this PCAD sample, and we're just going to hit Enter. It's always good to hit the Enter key after you've entered the name. Now, here you can see inside the custom tags, we have a blank ability. Everything's blank, and we can create a new custom tag. However, if we wanted these fields to start off with information that we had copied from another tag, we can use the green check, but this time we go about it a different way. Before we do that, we're going to use the very simple feature called Delete the Selected Item. We've got PCAD sample tag highlighted. If we click Delete, a window is going to open up asking us to confirm our action. Do you really want to remove the selected item? We say yes, and it'll remove it from the browser. Now it no longer exists. Now, if we want to make a copy of a tag, we do the same thing. However, instead of clicking at the top of a category, we actually click on an individual icon. Since we're working with tags, what we're going to do is click on the Tag Custom Sample. Here you can see the layout of that tag, and we cover all of that in different tutorials. But take a look at the information that's in there. If we want to copy this tag with all of the information in it, all we do is highlight the tag or whatever entity we're holding in the browser, and then we click Create a New again. This time, we're going to select the BMP image, we're going to hit Open, but you're going to notice that when it opens it up, it is not a blank tag. It's got the information carbon copied from whatever we highlighted. So this is a very quick way of copying information when you're creating new tags. Once you've learned how to use the Create a New Item check to create a single entity, in this particular tutorial it's a tag, we're now going to teach you how to use the Create a New Library. You can design a library of tags so that all your tags will be saved under one folder. This way you don't get what you see here, which is a list of all the tags that are constantly being displayed whenever you're underneath Custom. Every time you open up Custom, it's going to open up all the individual tags. However, if you would like to create folders that have multiple tags or multiple entities inside of them, you can use the Create a Catalog icon or Create a New Library. So what we're going to do here is look at the PractiCAD Tags library. You can see inside here is a list of all the different tags that have been designed. You can even see subfolders or sub-libraries that have been designed inside the PractiCAD Tags library. So you can manage your files by simply creating folders inside folders. This way we don't get an entire long list that stretches across your entire browser for tags. This way, whenever we're scrolling down inside our browser or navigating, we'll only see the PractiCAD tags first. And then if we need a specific tag, we can find it on the right and then double click on it, and then PractiCAD will open up that section on the left, highlighting whatever we just clicked on. So to create a new library, all we're going to do is click on the word Custom. If we click on Custom and then click on the word Create a New Library, this icon will create a catalog underneath Custom. If we were to click on PractiCAD Tags and then create a new catalog with this icon, it would create subcatalogs just like you see here, or sub-libraries. So what we're going to do is just click on Custom. We're going to click on Create a New Library. We're going to name it PCAD Catalog and hit Enter. And now what we do is if we want to design something that's going to be inside this library or catalog, we're just going to click on the green Create while that's highlighted. So we highlight PCAD Catalog, click on the green check. We select the BMP image, we press Open, we name it whatever we like. If we'd like another one inside PCAD Catalog, click on PCAD Catalog, hit the green check, select your image, press Open. Now we've got two tags underneath this catalog. This way, when we close it, it's only going to take up one line for two tags, or however many tags that we have. So this is a very good way of managing the size of the list when you're navigating through your browser. The next icon we're going to cover is the Save icon. The Save icon will light up anytime you're capable of saving either a change or something new. For example, here we're going to click on Tag Custom Sample, just a tag underneath the Custom section. You can see here that it's still grayed out because we have not created something new and we have not made a change. However, if we make any change to the screen, for example, just unchecking this box and rechecking it, the save key makes itself available. Now, we can either save by clicking on this disk, and I happen to be in the habit of doing that regularly, or we can basically exit out. And when you exit out, if you did not hit the save key, PractiCAD will ask you, do you want to save? Most of the time, however, I recommend just simply clicking on the save key here. So we're going to hit save, and it's going to save any changes we made. Once we've already saved it, that key will no longer make itself available until we make another change. For example, we've just checked and unchecked this box. Now the save key is available. Once again, if we were to exit out while this is lit up, and we're going to exit out by hitting close, it's going to stop and ask us, would you like to save your changes? Now you have three options here. Yes means save your changes. No means exit out and don't save your changes. Exit out of library. Cancel means cancel whatever action I just did, which means if we hit cancel, it does not exit out of library. So you always have those three options. The scissor icon on the left is the cut icon. PractiCAD allows you to cut and paste different entities inside different folders. For example, here we're doing tags. So what we're going to do is say that we'd like to cut some of these tags and then paste them into another catalog. And cut and paste, just like in Windows, means completely remove and insert someplace else. It does not mean copy and paste. For example, we're going to click on the tag custom sample. Once we click on that tag, on the left-hand side, PractiCAD is going to make the cut icon available. If we press cut, now what it's done is it's already cut the tag custom sample. However, we have not pasted it yet. So until we paste it someplace else, you're not going to see it removed from this list. But if we were to click on PCAD catalog, now the paste option opens up right here. And now if we hit paste, as we're going to do now, it's going to cut it from where it was and paste it here. So we've just cut it from underneath custom and we've pasted it here. So we can cut and paste entities between catalogs by utilizing the cut and paste options. The next option we're going to cover is the copy button. Just like you can cut and paste something in the browser, you can also copy and paste something in the browser. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the top-down, bottom-up tag. And when we do that, PractiCAD on the left-hand side is going to make the copy button available. Now, what we're going to do is click on copy, and then simply pick the place we'd like to paste it. So we're going to click on PCAD catalog. We're clicking on the name of the catalog. And when we do that, PractiCAD's opening up the paste option. So here we're just going to paste it. Once we do that, it's going to make a carbon copy, and then it's going to paste it here. It's just like cut and paste, but instead of completely removing it or cutting it and pasting it, it makes a copy of it and pastes it. The change image icon allows us to switch one BMP image for one particular category with another one. Here you can see we have the tag custom sample, and we've got a BMP image right next to it. If we'd like to change this BMP image from the original one we've selected, we can highlight the entity. In this particular case, it's a tag. And if applicable, PractiCAD will light up the icon that says change image. So what we can do now is simply click on change image. And at this point, PractiCAD is going to open up and ask you where you'd like to select the image. And once again, the file path for BMP images is currently right here on your screen. However, keep in mind, you might not want to follow the PractiCAD BMP file path because we only have a limited number of icons there. You might want to create your own BMP image or import it from another location and utilize it to recognize this particular icon. So you can choose any BMP image from any location. So all you need to do is then select the BMP image you want. Here we're going to pick the width by depth image instead. And when we press open, PractiCAD will simply switch the old image with the new image. The import and export icons are some of the most important icons in the browser. PractiCAD gives you the ability to literally import and export virtually everything in the system. Now there are many tutorials in different sections across the instructional videos showing you how to use the import and export icons. You will see them not just in this browser, but in many browsers across the software. However, in this tutorial we're going to show you how to import and export. We're going to use tags as an example, and we're going to show you how to use these icons in the browser. Notice currently that we're underneath documentation tags. And what we've got here is the different tag types. General, Size, Elevation, Property, and Custom. And underneath General, we've got one tag. And underneath Custom, we've got one tag and a catalog. Now, notice that when we highlight the category General, that on the left-hand side, the Import button is available, but the Export button is not. Now notice that when I click on the individual tag itself, that on the left-hand side, the Import button's no longer available, but the Export button is. So PractiCAD's only going to highlight or make the icon available that's going to be applicable at any time. So here you can see that we can export, but we cannot import. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to export this tag. We're just going to hit the Export button. PractiCAD's going to ask us to save it to a folder, and we're saving it right now to this PCAD tags folder on the left. Notice that it's picking up the name, Tag General Sample. It's taking the name right out of here, and it's saving it to the PractiCAD CXG file. We're going to hit Save. Now we're going to go under the Custom category, and we're going to click on Tag Custom Sample. And we're going to export this as well. And what we're going to do is say export the selected item. We click on this icon and we're going to hit save. Now, we are now going to delete both the tag general sample and the tag custom sample. We're just going to delete it directly out of PractiCAD. That tag no longer exists inside PractiCAD. It only exists in the folder PCAD tags. And we're going to take the tag custom sample and we're going to delete this particular tag and say yes. So now those tags are no longer on our system. Now we can do two things. One, we can go into each category. For example, we can click on General, and then we can click on Import an Item. And if we do that, we are going to be able to not highlight just one, but we're going to be able to highlight all of the tags inside a window. And now what we're going to do is press open. But before we do that, I want to point out that we have got the general tag type selected. In terms of PractiCAD, they're both saved under a CXG. But one of these is a general tag, the other one is a custom tag. And watch what happens when we press open. It says that the folder type for the tag custom sample is inconsistent. In other words, I'm trying to import a custom tag into a general tag, and I can't do that. So what happens when I press OK, it was smart enough to bring in the tag general, but it does not bring in the custom. So in order to bring in multiple tags or multiple automatics under different types, we actually want to go up the organization tree one rung and import there. For example, we're going to take tag general sample and we're actually going to delete it. Now it doesn't exist on PractiCAD. Instead of using the import here, as you can see, we're actually going to click on the word tag. Now, here we have the different categories under tag. And notice that by clicking on tag on the left-hand side, the import button is available. In this particular case, we can click import, and then we can go into PCAD tags and we can highlight all the tags inside a specific folder. And when we press open, PractiCAD will filter these tags where they belong. See, under General, we have Tag General Sample. And under Custom, we have Tag Custom Sample. So this makes it much easier to import tags. We can only currently export tags one at a time. However, we can import as many tags as you want at once. Now, if you'd like PractiCAD to be able to sort those tags, you have to make sure that when you go to import, you're at the top of this organization tree here, above the individual categories. For example, if you were down in automatics, and there's tutorials teaching you how to build automatics, you'll see that there's a lot of different automatic types. If I click on tagging automatic and I import, I can only import those that are part of a tagging automatic scenario. However, if I click on the word automatics and I use the import here, I can highlight automatics of all different types. PractiCAD will import them all at once and filter them to the proper location. The last two options we have for the browser icon options are the backward and forward icons. Basically what these do is they allow you to navigate backwards and forwards through your browser as PractiCAD remembers the last place you were. We are currently in automatics because in the last tutorial we were actually working in automatics last. However, before that, we were under documentation. And you can see here that there is no forward icon lit because this was the last place we visited in our browser. However, if we click on the green backwards button once, it brings us right to where we were. We were on tagging. If we back up again, it now brings us back to documentation. And each time I click, it's going to simply back up where we were in the browser. So we could basically come into PractiCAD, open up the library. We can click in ductwork, open it up, click on PractiCAM single wall, rectangular, elbow, and then we could choose a particular fitting. And anytime if we want to just back up where we were, we can hit back and it goes back to the ductwork. If we hit forward, it goes forward to the fitting we were highlighting. So utilizing the backward and forward can make it a lot easier to navigate. These also become very handy when you're designing Ultimatics later on, and there are separate tutorials in that. But currently you've got the backwards button to browse backwards and the forward button to browse forward.